All right, and we're live here once again at In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, handsome Jackie Jones, the most honest man in all of podcasting. That's right. So we're live here on a Wednesday for Inauguration Day. The proud day for all my fellow Americans here. We didn't do the show last night because I didn't watch any wrestling, but we're doing it live tonight following AEW Dynamite. You're asking yourself, Jackie Jones, how can I follow the show if you're usually live on Tuesdays and then out of the blue, you're live on Wednesday? Well, I posted it on the Facebook group. And you say, well, Jackie Jones, I know I'm not a member of Facebook. I'm on MeWe. I am still one of the last members of MySpace. I'm on the Friendster. Well, you know what you can do, folks? You subscribe right here to I Watch Wrestling on the YouTube. Then you ask yourself, Jackie Jones, I subscribed. But now I just know when you post a new show. Aha! Well, I have the answer for you, my friend. You click that little icon in the bottom. I don't mean the internet icon, because that's the big icon. I mean the little icon. You hit that little bell icon, and you will get a notification every time the show is live. I'm going to take these glasses off because you can see the reflection of all my screens and what's going on. You got to keep the mystery alive here. Incher said he was going to join me yesterday, but you can never tell with that fellow. He could be off, on secret business, you know what I'm saying, or just taking a poop. But who knows? So anyway, if he's not here, whatever, we're gonna go over Dynamite from earlier tonight. I'm going to answer all the questions on the Facebook group, give out the rest of the Royal Rumble numbers. It'll be a good time. It's not going to be a really long show because I have surgery tomorrow. I have surgery to correct some veins in my leg. They're going to inject them and kill the veins, shut them down. They did a whole test to make sure these veins weren't important. And in my mind, I was like, well, aren't all veins important? But apparently not. So they don't go anywhere. So it's like they can't just go in and shut them down if they went to my kicker up here. Then it would be bad times. But so they're not important. I'm going to shut them down. If that doesn't work, the next step is they're going to actually remove the veins with little hooks. It sounded like something right out of Hellraiser. Like the Cenobites are going to come with these hooks. They're going to cut me open and rip out my veins. But hopefully this one works. This one, instead of ripping them out, they just take they inject them, and then they close up and die. The more I think about it, I don't know about this. Maybe it's just some crazy quack. Anyway, forget all that. We're going over AEW Dynamite for January 20th, 2021, folks. 2021. Crazy. Who knew the world would well, everyone knew, I guess it would. But who knew 2021 seemed so in the future when I was a child? Brother. But anyway, let's go. I'm sure some of your birth dates seemed in the future to me as a child because I'm old. Speaking of being old, in a month from yesterday, 29 days from today, I turned 45. 45, that's a milestone. You only turn 45 once. 45 years old, 45 years young. You want to celebrate with Jack? How do you do it? Send me gifts. Send Jack gifts. Send it to care of Neil Jones. That is some J. Brome. Neil Jones, 2 Campbell Street, Sandwich, Massachusetts, or MA is short for Mass, 02563. And I will open them here live on In Your Head. Just put underneath Neil Jones Jack's birthday, just so I know. Open them live here on the show. Boom! Shakalaka. All right. So, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you folks, I'm a huge AEW fan. I think all of you know that. You know that I am an AEW fan. Mark has this negative vibe to it. It's like, you're a Mark. But I'm a fan of AEW. I'm a fan of Dynamite. Last week in the Headies, I picked they swept in the Headies, so most of the Headyverse agrees with me. They reinvigorated my fandom in wrestling. Why am I saying this again? You're like, Jack, you said us last week. To put this into perspective. All right, so going in, I'm an AEW fan, and I am a Dynamite fan. And this is what made me a fan of wrestling again. I was really, I stopped watching Impact. I stopped watching WWE earlier this year. But Dynamite AEW has kept me going. So all that said, I thought this was not a good show. So I'm just putting that out there. Did not think this was a good show. All right, so we open with the Dark Order. I'll admit there was some funny stuff in here. Johnny Hungry. I don't know. Sometimes I think, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe this guy is funny. He is funny. But he's also, do I want to see him so much? I'm not sure. Do I think he can be a star for them? Yes, because he does have a big following. Am I sold on it? No. I am not. And it pains me to say this because, all right, and I don't want to be, people say, Jack, you're an asshole. You're a mean bastard. You're, what the hell are you talking about? But I'm going to have to say this. When they did the Brody Lee tribute, I thought it was one of the most touching episodes of any wrestling show I've ever watched. I thought it was incredibly emotional. And I got physically mad at people who said anything negative about, using Brody's son, anything like that. Fair game for that show. Do whatever you want. Very fitting, very touching, very emotional. I teared up. I thought it was great for the company, for them as people. That being said, Brody Lee's son should not be a regular character on the show. I'm not going to go on a rant and trash him or anything, but it's not, so it does not make the show good. I'm sorry. One time, fantastic, a great memory, show highlights of that. Maybe it could pop up again down the future for like a brief appearance of something. I know it was his birthday 3 days ago. Maybe they could have put this on their YouTube, put it on Dark. This was on their main show. I'm sorry. It was not good. Very childish. Dr. Luther. I tried to give this guy a shot too, but he is not ready for prime time. This guy, I'm give him a job. Cool. He is not good. Not a good, this first time I really heard him do a promo, not a good talker. Totally washed up as a wrestler. Possibly borderline the worst guy on the roster in the ring. There might be some people that are definitely greener. Like I'm not a big fan of Swole, but the built-in excuse is she's very green. This guy's as a veteran, and he just shouldn't be in the ring. And not only is he a veteran who's washed up, he's a veteran that I don't have the faintest clue who he is, and I don't think many people do. So I'm sorry he should not be on the show. His interaction with the kid was like embarrassing. This should not have been the show. So I don't want to like totally trash this stuff, but so because I know it was from a good place that they had him on there, but come on. So Dark Order versus Chaos Theory and what's the team H2? The team, that other team is weird because I actually really like the team. What is it? I forget the name of the guy's name. The high flying guy. I've actually had him on the show. A really cool guy and Helico. And for a long time they really didn't use him at all. Then they started to give him a little push, and they really shined, I thought. When they had him have a really long match with somebody recently, but then they kind of back to just being kind of like a job team. really it's really weird with the push there. It's kind of starting. It's like one week they're kind of something, and the next week they're not. I don't know, but the match itself was fun. It was a fun match. I think if you didn't have all the goofiness at the beginning, I probably just would enjoy it as a match. Awesome dive by Hangman when he came out. I'm not a giant dive guy, but when they're done good, great. This was awesome. Fairly big dude comes out and does the just run and dives on. Sometimes those big dives when they dive on everybody looks very contrived. This one didn't. Came flying out, jumped on him. Jason Mitten's like man crush. His WCW is that's like woman crush. His MCW's man crush, not just Wednesday though, every day. I forget what is this guy's name, John Silver. So he's out there and he's he's really putting Adam Page over, saying you got to join the team. It was kind of funny when they have the stuff come down saying he said yes when after he said no. But I don't know. This didn't really work for me. Too comedic. John Silver's a funny guy. What do you do with the Dark Order now? Are they just a comedy act now? They're funny. It's hard to have them as heels after Brody Lee passes away. Do you run with them as baby faces? I don't know what the answer is, but this isn't the answer for me. I didn't care like this. Sting and Darby Allin came out. This was fine. I like the Darby Allin and Sting pairing. I think Sting obviously is a huge icon Sting, and Darby Allin I've been a fan of for a long time, and he was a guy I didn't even know on the first show, and he had that great match with Cody, and I was like, wow, there's something here. And then he can continue to impress me. I love the whole package. I think he's a great in-ring wrestler. All his moves look really cool. He's a very small guy, but I don't think it takes away, honestly. He's got a cool look, lots of charisma. Not bad on the mic. Not even probably need some work there, but yeah, I like this pairing. I think he's got a lot of star appeal to him. Taz interrupts. And basically, I think it's going to be like a lead up to a street fight match. Maybe this will be the cinematic match with Sting. They'll do like a street fight with Darby Allin and Team Taz and Sting and maybe somebody. So I'm into this. I like this. This is one of the better things on the show to me. They went to a Don Callis interview with the Young Bucks, like at I guess it was at Kenny's house. At the start, I was like, I love the oil painting of Kenny Omega and Don Callis. I thought that was good stuff. That was hilarious. That was very funny. But then I just thought it went on way too long. You got the gist of it immediately, and the Young Bucks, like, there's little things like, so he goes to pay him off, and they should just be mad that he's trying to pay him off. Like, hey, just take this money and forget about your friend. And they did mention that. That's what the angle should be. But they looked at it and they were like, we made more than this last week. Total heel line. People don't want to cheer for someone bragging about how much money they made. And then it just went on and on and on. It was I didn't think it was good. And I'm a big fan of Don Callis. I've been loving the Don Callis Kenny Omega stuff. But it just went on too long, I thought. Speaking of too long, this next match. Pretty Peter Avalon, who I'm just going to say he's the poor man's Rick Rude. Very poor man's, like the homeless man's Rick Rude, comes out. I'm totally fine with this gimmick. If he's like a comedy underneath guy, that's totally fine. So he wrestles Cody, and this is an issue with the Cody matches. I mentioned the Darby Allin match, where that really put Darby on the map. And the same thing with guy who fought Moxley for the title not too long ago. Put him on the map in AEW. Right away, his debut match. But the problem is, you can't do that with everybody. Cody can't have these like epic matches with every single guy he wrestles. Because then it becomes... Now, if he did that when he does that out of the blue, it's great because like, wow, this guy really has some. But if every single match Cody has, the fairly unknown guy almost wins and brings them, to a long match, it's no longer, wow, this guy really has something. He brought Cody to the limit. It's, wow, Cody can barely beat anybody. And that's what this is to me. Just way too long. Technically fine. Nothing wrong with the actual match, except for the finish. Because they have this goofy comedy finish in a Cody Rhodes match. And Cody's stuff is always really serious. One of my favorite guys. And so I mean, in theory, it's funny that he taps out instead of gets slapped. So Cody has him in the figure 4, and he goes to slap him in the face, and he taps out because he doesn't want to. They didn't really put it over very well, but the idea was he didn't want to get slapped in the face because he's pretty, so he taps out instead. That's funny for like a low end job guy. I'd be totally into that gimmick, but you can't use that in a match with Cody Rhodes, like one of your perennial main event guys. And plus, like, your main event guy has this job dude in the figure 4, and the only reason he taps is because he doesn't want to get slapped in the face. He doesn't tap out just because the figure 4 hurts. I thought this was poor, very poor. Another thing I was really dumbfounded by, because I've never heard of this guy. I missed the opening where they announced him. Camarado, this huge caveman looking dude. I thought, and I'm not someone who's just obsessed with giant guys. Like, I think Brian Cage is not good, but this guy looks awesome, and maybe he's got something. I don't know, but it's very bizarre that you would take this guy who definitely has a unique look, giant dude. Looks like he's probably green. I didn't see enough of him to really have that much of an opinion, but besides, it looks cool, and hey, he definitely has a look and like a presence about him, and looked like he's athletic for a big dude. Probably needs some technical work, but to debut him against Jon Moxley, and then Moxley beats him with the sleeper, I just don't. I'm perplexed. I mean, if it's just a one shot and you never see the guy again, I guess, but if you've signed him or you have any plans with him, I don't know why on earth you would do this for his first appearance on the show. Makes no sense to me. So technically I was fine, but I don't get it. Like a cold match, you never heard of the guy. He comes out, he wrestles Jon Moxley's return. Moxley should have fought Pretty Peter and just beat him, instantly. It's his return match. You should just beat a guy quick. And I don't understand your first appearance, this guy that could potentially be something, and he loses, he just gets knocked out with the sleeper hold. I don't get it. Very, very strange. Technically, the match was fine. I'd like to see more of this guy, but you've automatically taken him down lots of steps from just having him just lose instantly. I didn't get it. Then we had Kenny and Don backstage. Don's got his eye all messed up from the Young Bucks stuff, so Kenny's mad about that. I like Kenny's shirt, by the way. This was all right. This was fine. It was better than the other one, I thought. Private Party and Matt Hardy versus Seidel and Top Flight. My light just fell down. This happens a lot with this one. Just that one. It's not sticky enough. Put it like that. What's that do? Nothing. Probably none of them do anything. Let's leave it. All right, so Private Party and Matt Hardy versus Matt Seidel and Top Flight. So this is another problem for me with the TNA and Impact connection. I don't watch Impact. I gave it a shot. It's not for me. I don't want to trash the company just because it's cool to have a place where people can work and everything. Just the no crowd really just kills it for me. So apparently, Private Party, I think it was Private Party. Yeah, Private Party won a match on Impact where they're now the number one tag contenders for the Impact titles. I guess it was on Impact, or maybe it was on their pay-per-view. I don't know, because this is the issue. I don't want to follow Impact every week. So to keep, I really only watch AEW. So to keep, this was a problem when WWE added so many shows, because I felt like to follow the company, I had to watch like 10 hours of television, and I'm not going to do that. So I didn't watch a lot of the promotion. Granted, a lot of their stuff didn't cross over, so you didn't have to watch 205 Live or even NXT to well, in a way you do, because when the guys come up, a lot of times they don't do a very good job of explaining who they are. They assume you know them from NXT. So it's like they kind of say it, but they don't explain enough for me to really know exactly what happened. So I don't want to devote another 2 hours a week to Impact. So if you're going to have storylines that cross over Impact and AEW, you have to realize not everyone's going to watch Impact. So you have to explain it on the show. You could do it really easy with a video package, like even a minute video package. Knock a minute off Pretty Pete's match, and show just what happened on Impact. This also might entice me to watch Impact. What might entice other people to watch Impact, other than just briefly mentioning it. I don't know. So anyway, apparently they want. I have no idea what the storyline is there. I mean, this was fine. Kind of slop. There was a lot of sloppy wrestling on the show, I thought. Mark Quinn did this really dumb looking it kind of reminded me of like old art Ron Killing stuff, where he would do like a backflip for no reason and then like hit a guy. I always thought that kind of stuff. So he did like a couple flips or like something, and then he kicked him. It looked very dumb. Another guy, he hit a very cool move, but he almost missed it. It was fine. Isaiah used the chair, so it's set up now they're heels. So in a way, I kind of like that, because they started the Matt and Private Party unit by automatically teasing they were going to break up, which just made Private Party look kind of dumb, and like made you realize they're just putting them together to break them up. But I guess maybe they're going to reverse that and tease the breakup, and they actually get together. But if you do that, you can't have it that Matt's like stealing their money. So it is flawed in many ways. I mean, honestly, they should have just put them together, and then eventually comes out that he's stealing their money. I don't know. It's I don't I really want to like Matt. I did like the one match he had, and I'm not really big on the wacky thing, those wacky matches, but I did like the one they did on the latest pay-per-view. That one worked for me, but he has like this is like the third or fourth like character he's had since he's been in AEW. Came in, as the broken guy, and then he became something else, and now he's like this sleazy agent, Matt Hardy. It's just strange. The guy's like 1 week he totally reinvents himself, and he's a guy that's been around for 30 years or 20 years. I don't know. It's kind of a mess. MGF and the Inner Circle backstage. This was fine. Talking about their match. So the idea of the match is they have the 3 different teams in Inner Circle. They're all going to do a match, and then one of them will be the official team that they push to go for the tag belts. Penelope Ford versus Layla Hirsch. I'm a Layla Hirsch fan. Penelope Ford actually has a lot of charisma too. Layla Hirsch, a great wrestler, very stocky. She's like the female Taz, like the old school Taz. I like her a lot. I think you could do something with her. She probably needs like something, a manager or something. Kip Sabian, Miro, and the Butler, Charles Taylor. That worked for me. It's silly comedy, but I actually found that funny. I do like Chuck Taylor as the Butler for Miro. That worked for me. I think I was making tea or something, so I didn't really watch a match. I'll be honest, but I don't know. I got a kick out of this stuff at the end though. At the promo after, it was comedy for me that worked. So Nothing really bad to say about that. I mean, it's not like the greatest thing. I think you could do a lot better with Miro than what they're doing. But as a segment, I liked it. I thought it was fun. So I think then Orange Cassidy came out. I stopped taking notes. So they're, saying that's a breakup of the best friends. So then we had the main event. I mean, I always like Chris Jericho. I like all these guys in the inner circle. A little sloppy the match itself, but MJF won, kind of cheating, but yeah, I worked it. Gogo thought the highlight of the show was the Bucks and Don Callis. I didn't like it. I thought it was bad. It went on, I thought, way too long. And I'm a big fan of Don Callis, but I like the Bucks as wrestlers. I'm not. I don't know what I think of them as personalities outside of that, though. But yeah, I thought this was one of the weaker episodes of Dynamite, and I'm a big fan. I like comedy wrestling. I thought it was too much of it. It was all over the show. I don't want to harp on the kid being on the show because I mean, obviously, everyone agrees that's something, they're doing the right thing and everything, but it doesn't make for good television. I think after the first one was great, but after that, like I said, I don't want to be here and brag on them. But anyway, I mean, it's just one episode. It's just wrestling, kids. Not the end of the world, but it wasn't a great show. All right. So we're going to go over these questions, and people who send in questions will get themselves a Royal Rumble number. Doug Barrett in the 2000 Royal Rumble. Who are 5 wrestlers who tried to join the Rumble, but they didn't have a number? I assume he thinks this is trivia, and it's not. So I don't know. I think 8 Ball and Bushwhacker Butch, and Juventud Guerrera maybe, and Paul Orndorff and Highlander 2, I think. So Doug Barrett, got yourself number 10. Doug Barrett. I don't want to rag on this man. That's probably a good question. Good trivia. It's good trivia. I just was not prepared for trivia. David Matheny in the 2016 In Your Head Royal Rumble. He was the winner, and he would like another shot. Quick and to the point, David Matheny. Big Dave. Number 14. You can also zoom in tonight. iWatchWrestling.com/zoom. Get yourself a number. I'm not going to be on real late. I've got leg surgery in the morning. Let's see. Brian Matthew Clutter. Does he have a number already? I don't think so. Okay. What's the best Mega Man game on NES? The original. That question might have been proposed to somebody else on the show. But he's, I don't know what he's doing. 22. Brian Matthew Clutter. All right, Joseph Fargiajorio. What would be a good merchandise idea for the Boogeyman character? That's a really interesting question because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I've had an idea for the Boogeyman character. Back when he was all the rage, all the kids were talking about the Boogeyman. He was a top merchandise seller. Everyone's like, Boogeyman this, Boogeyman that. It was, people thought, after the Austin era, who's the next big star? And for a long time before Cena came around, people thought it was going to be the Boogeyman era. And so a thing he was known for was eating worms, real live worms, folks. Real live worms. He would eat them, grab them, night crawlers. So how do you merchandise that for kids? You think, I put some worms on a shirt. Everyone's got t-shirts, folks. Sell gummy worms, sacks of gummy worms, Boogeyman sacks of gummy worms. They look like the burlap sack that he had. Reach in there, the kids are eating the gummy worms. Brilliant. Why do they do that? Well, the gummy worms are fucking great, but they love the boogeyman. And then you've got to tell all your camera people, zoom in whenever you see the kids eating the gummy worms. So boogeyman comes out, all the kids, they're thinking they're boogeyman eating the gummy worms. You start panning the crowd, showing all these kids. They get home, like, man, Stevie, look, I was on the TV last night eating the worms. Like, oh, fuck, man. My daddy wouldn't bring me to the wrestling, you son of a bitch. And so, like, they're the talk of the town. They're you know, their classmates are living it up. They're like, whoa, did you see Stevie on the TV? God damn, he's the man. So you put Boogeyman out in the first hour. Kids go, oh, eating Boogeyman worms. $10, bam. They're like, mommy! Because now they're gone, because the t-shirt, you have it, you got it for life, or at least till you outgrow it. Gummy worms, you eat them. Like, mommy, I want my gummy worms. Like, fuck. So she goes over, buys another bag of gummy worms, another $10. Hour 2, another Boogeyman segment. The kids eating them up. Bam, all over TV. No gummy worms again. Hour 3, main event time. Of course, Boogeyman's in it. Boom, another $10. Then you're going home, and the kids are, mommy, I ain't got no more. And she's like, God damn it. Boom. Gotta buy him another bag of Boogeyman gummy worms to bring home. Then, so that's $40. Then you're at home. Some of the other kids, what if I live in, some place wrestling doesn't go? I live in Newark. I'm sure wrestling goes to Newark, but I live in, some fucking dump. There ain't no wrestling coming here. So you're sitting in your room crying. Your Uncle Pete, he's like, God damn, little Billy, what's wrong with that boy? His parents are like, out there wrestling, it never comes around here. Like, well, God damn it, watch it on the TV. You got the talking box. They're like, well, he does. But he really loves that boogeyman. And he really wants to be one of them there kids who eats the worm. They're eating the fucking worms. What the hell? I thought he'd done outgrown that. No, I don't mean the fish and worms. I mean the worms like that man does on the TV. He's like, well, I'll go get him some worms. No, Uncle Bobby, not worms. He needs the gummy worms. They sell them on the Shop Zone on the internet. And he's like, whoa. I fell into some money. I won the lottery. I'm going to buy a little Pete some gummy worms. He goes on the internet, goes to the Shop Zone. He orders a dozen packs of gummy worms to make little Petey happy. Little Petey, for the next 3 months, he's watching Raw, eating gummy worms. Bam. Good Lord, look at all this money. Boogeyman gummy worms, folks. Gold mine. Anastasio Theodosia says, good luck, bro. Golgo says it's not a new character for Matt. Big money. Well, okay, look, but he's saying big money Matt Hardy gimmick debuted at Impact. I don't fucking watch Impact, and most people watching the show don't. I can't just go and you can't just assume everyone watching your show and knows everything that's ever happened in wrestling. I watch wrestling religiously for a long time, but I don't even know this. You can't just assume everyone knows anything. And it is a totally different gimmick than he's been on the show. He's like 3 or 4 different gimmicks already. It's too many gimmicks for one guy. And he's not even been in the company a year. Too much. Who the hell gets this number? Joseph Fargio Garanio gets number 11. That was a good question. Glad I got to tell my Boogeyman story, because that's been in my head for a while. I wanted a place to put it out there. Mike Bessler. What do you really think of the PS2 version of Fire Pro Wrestling Returns? Hot damn. That's one hell of a game. I'd put that right up there with tag team wrestling. Good stuff. God damn. Mike Bessler, number 20. Mike Bessler from the PWI Pro Wrestling Illustrated. By the way, join facebook.com/group/IYH Wrestling. Kevin Paralysis wants to know, who better than Canyon? Nobody, I say. Not a soul. 24 for Kevin Paralysis. Kevin Paralysis. It's a good name. Good wrestling gimmick. Tony Gonzalez. Do you think there will be another return this year like Edge did last year? I would say no, since there's no crowd, but what do I know? Who would you bring out? Who's left? Who's left that can return? CM Punk? Do they put out the big money? Maybe. Maybe they put out the big money for Punk. I would not bring back Punk without a crowd, though. I wouldn't bring back anyone really big without a crowd. Tony Gonzalez, 19. Tony Gonzalez. He's a good man. Bruce Briscoe. Why does AEW have so many angles that go nowhere? Example, Ambrose knocked out backstage Spears and his glove and Shaq. I think it's unfortunate because it is a problem. I think some of the stuff, I think the Shaq one, the Brandy probably getting pregnant probably had changed how they were going to do that. But I don't know that Shaq stuff. If they didn't have like him booked to do a match or something, I don't know why you would even bring him up. The Spears stuff is weird because Spears, it seemed like they were going somewhere a few different times with him, but it never happens. Anyway, Bruce Briscoe, number 16. Bruce Briscoe. Is he related to the Briscoes? Is Randy Orton the best thing going right now in Raw? If so, I don't know. But the stuff I see makes me not want to watch Raw. So what do I know? Was anyone else thinking Asuka was receiving the fireball treatment too? Daniel Sykes. Probably. I have no idea. Didn't watch it. I should probably not host this show. I don't watch this stuff. Daniel Sykes. Number 5. I know Al Oob's out there. He's like, oh, he's saying he's quitting the show again. I mean, I enjoy doing the show, but I don't watch a lot of wrestling. So don't know if it's really working anymore. I enjoy it. I know the people here in the chat enjoy the show, but feel weird hosting the show and not watching anything. And I don't really want to watch it. So Vic Schiavone. Do you think Vince pulled the plug on the Adam Pearce match at Whitey? Oh, do you think? Do I think? Well, yeah, because Adam Pearce was going to fight Roman Reigns at the Rumble, which I was actually interested in because I'm an Adam Pearce fan, Scrap Iron. But you would have to think the majority of the fans, but I don't know, because I would say the majority of the fans don't want to see that. But at the same time, from understanding, he's been an established character, so they probably did want to see him get his ass kicked. And it's something you haven't seen. Plus, the Rumble itself is really sold, not to really buy pay-per-view, but the thing is really sold on the Rumble itself and not like a match. So I would have kept it on there. I don't know I don't know why you tease something and then you don't deliver it. Vic Schiavone, number 6. Vic Schiavone. All right. Now I'm going to go to the AMA question. All right. AMA. AMA. This one, I like this. Tyler Stevens did a it's me, Incher, Al Ulb, and Lexar walking down the tracks from Lean on Me. Stand by Me. AJA, Ask Jack Anything. Tyler Stevens, I believe he has a number. Yeah. Have you ever had to tell a lie? Well, it would be a dilemma because I'm the most honest man in all of podcasting. But if it came down where I had to save a loved one or something, I would. But I think telling one solitary lie to save someone's life or the world would still keep me as the most honest man in all podcasting. Stephen Butler, have you ever ventured into Ben Affleck's and Matt Damon's neighborhood in Boston? I don't really know where they're from in Boston. So, I mean, it's possible. I just don't know. Tyler Stevens, do you enjoy a nice cottage roll? I don't know what that is. I tried as long as it didn't come out of someone's ass like that coffee Jason sent me. Part of me wants to try it, but I really don't want to drink something that came out of an animal's asshole. I mean, call me weird, but do you guys, girls out there, do you want to really drink a cup of coffee that came out of an animal's asshole? Al Ulb, do you think the reason Incher got so many votes for heel of the year and why the fans are turning on him is because he's a part-timer now? Nah, I mean, I honestly think he's more popular than me. I think they just like to get a rise out of the Inch Man. Did Al Ulb get a number? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, he's got number 13. Dorian Doc Patel, have you learned any new skills with all these construction videos on the Facebook page? Yeah, there's a lot of spam bots. And I don't get it because like they put these videos that, you know, how to make like a table and shit. Like, what's the benefit of that? I mean, it doesn't even sell anything. Like, I can't imagine anyone's clicking it and they're making money. I don't get it. Dobbs Dean Maya, have you any idea? Oh, Dorian Dark Patel, does he have a number? I don't think so. Dorian Dark Patel. Number 17. There's only one number left. I know what it is. And you playing at home will know what it is too, but we'll keep it here for the next person does not have one. Dobbs Dean Maya, I know he's got one. Have you any idea what time it is? Well, it looks like to me it's Vader time. Bruce Briscoe. I think I already gave him one earlier tonight, right? Yeah. Do you think Sting is really that big, great as a wrestler? Icon considered his best years were hiding in the rafters. I don't think it matters what his best. I don't know if that's really his best years. I think his best in-ring stuff was in the late 80s and the early 90s. A lot of people don't like the early 90s WCW. Match-wise, I think they had some stuff in the lower card, not great, but the high-end stuff was fantastic. Sting versus Vader, great stuff. Sting versus Regal, all that era Sting is great. His most famous role, where he was the most over, was in the rafters. But does that make him not that good? No, I don't think it matters. I think it's kind of impressive to have a big run without having to wrestle. I think he gets the shaft. Like, people consider him like just this bum. I think I don't know why. I mean, do I think he's like the all-time great? Like, no, but I think he's like, you know, a tier under those guys. But I mean, look at the longevity. He's been around for 40 years. Or almost 40 years. 4 decades. 80s, 90s, teens, 20s. Bruce Briscoe is in Laquan Vanderpool Higgins. What's up with wrestling fans hating pregnant women? Weird. No, we need Intra on. I think Intra likes the pregnant cleavage or pregnant boobs, but he just hates the life that is inside. Nikhil Callahan. What's my favorite cheese? It's an interesting question. Favorite cheese? Well, I like mozzarella and pizza, but by itself, cheddar's good. I eat a lot of feta cheese and salads. I'm going to say feta for the moment. Favorite Seth Rogen film? Superbad. Favorite WCW moment? Scott Hall walking. I mean, might not be my favorite I thought about, but Scott Hall walking on the crowd was pretty awesome. Favorite Royal Rumble moment? The whole one with the '92 one where Flair won. Favorite match of The Rock? Honestly, The Rock versus Hogan at that WrestleMania. Favorite memory of the 1990s? Graduating in 1994. Favorite film of all time? Goodfellas. Favorite subject in school? Math. Favorite city in the USA or other than your hometown? I've had a lot of fun in Chicago. I've had a lot of fun in Boston. Although Boston, everything closes early. I've had probably more fun in Boston because I've been there more often. Atlanta, I remember Charlotte's nice. Again, it's just because I have a lot of memories there. I really like LA. It's got its issues, but I like LA. Favorite in your head interview? Terry Funk. If I had to just pick one, it's hard to pick one, but I'm gonna go with Terry Funk. Huge fan of Terry Funk. Was really. I thought it made me feel. I think the J.J. Dillon interview is what made me think I was good at doing interviews, or deluded. No, I think I'm gonna. So, but it's not necessarily my favorite. But I think it's up there. It's really good. But that was one I thought like, oh, this is something we could do. But the Terry Funk was just my personal favorite. It was in the first year, getting Funk on the show, the Duckman call, me thinking like this is the end of the show when Duckman called. And then it turned out I really liked it. I honestly think our interviews with Terry Funk and Paul Bear are up there with anyone's because I've heard a lot of Terry Funk interviews where they really focus on being serious, and that's great. He can be serious, but he's also very funny and is not against being silly. And in my opinion, the In Your Head interviews with Terry Funk are top notch, just as good or better than any Terry Funk interview, because they cover both serious Terry Funk and the business, and also fun Terry Funk. And to me, it's kind of what In Your Head's about. There's like there is, even though some weeks maybe you don't see it, I think there is a lot of substance to the show, but there's also a lot of just silliness, inane silliness, and so I think he really fits into the show. So there you go. So we got one number left. We're gonna give this to my co-host on Without Your Head, Trista Robinson. She gets number 26. Treacherous Trista. So if you've not watched, and if people want other numbers, we'll pair them up with people. Just let me know in the Facebook group, and you can play along while we're watching the Rumble. It always makes it fun because then you know whoever you get. So, and if you haven't watched Without Your Head since we got into video, that's on withoutyourhead.com and on YouTube / Without Your Head. And that's me, Terrible Troy, who is one of the co-founders, me, Troy, and Inchman. Intra left the show in 2011, I think. Annabelle took over for, I think, 6 or 7 years. And then it was just me and Troy for a while. And now we have the third member, Treacherous Trista, a friend who I met on a film. She's the lead. I had a small part in it, and we stayed in touch. She's an actress out in LA, and it's been a great time. And she's also a wrestling fan, so she's going to be coming on this show. I think probably when season 3 starts of Dark Side of the Ring, because she binge watched both seasons and really liked them. So I think we'll get her on maybe as a segment, or maybe she'll guest co-host. We'll figure it out, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right. Parmesan from Vic Schiavone. Can't get away from Parmesan's good too. Gogo 13, Jason X from the In Your Head message board is a fan of Fire Pro Wrestling Returns. Well, excellent. Stephen Butler says Kai and Tai, choppy pee. Exactly. And Hoosier Highway says Fermunda. There's not, I think it's not too many cheeses I dislike. There is a major cheese that I don't like. I'm not a fan of Swiss cheese. I'll eat it on certain things, but by itself, not a fan. It's got an off-putting taste I don't like. But I mean, I like blue cheese and Parmesan, all the cheddars, Longhorn. There's not too many cheeses I don't like, folks. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this week. I've got tomorrow, I have a surgery to fix these alien veins in my leg. So I've got, I guess it's 5 years ago now. I had 14 inches of my colon removed. Right after I turned 40. So yeah, 5 years ago. Almost 5 years ago. I had everyone knows the story, but real quick. Diverticulitis, the colon perforated. So I was filling with toxins. I was dying. I had emergency surgery, moved 14 inches of colon. Months in and out of the hospital, rehab. And then where was I going with this? Why was I even talking about it? Oh, surgery. So from there, the left side was weaker, which I didn't talk about a lot at the time. Later on, I did. So when I was in rehab, I want to say similar to someone has a stroke where you have to learn to use the left side again, but a much milder version. So I don't want to put it over that like I overcame a stroke, but I had to learn to compensate because the left side was weaker. So things like walking up and down steps, up right to heaven, left. So not right to heaven. So when you go up steps or up a hill, always lead with your strong foot. When you're going down, always lead with your weak foot. Here's a little thing I had to learn. But anyway, I'm fine now. But so the left side from the surgery and the trauma from the colon and everything, my left side got weaker. Also, part of that was I got varicose veins on the left leg because of that, which I didn't notice for a long time until I started to lose weight and walk a lot. And then my legs started to get more toned. And so then I noticed like crazy veins on the one leg. And so anyway, got it checked out. They're not hurting or anything, but they can lead to other things down the road. So it's best to get them taken care of. My insurance is going to cover it, so that's a good thing. And so I did some tests to make sure, like I said earlier, they're not veins that are important, which I would think all veins are, but apparently not. And so they're going to inject them and close them down. And if that doesn't work, they're going to go in and remove them with little hooks. Right now, I'm wearing a compression. Well, I'm not at the moment, but every day I wear compression socks during the day. And yeah. So if you've seen pictures where on one leg, I'll have like a big long sock, like in the summertime when I'm walking, one leg I'll have one leg will have like a tie-dye or a pineapple. It's because I wear a compression sleeve to cover. Part of it's to cover the leg, and also it helps the circulation. But anyway, we're going to get them fixed tomorrow. It's supposed to take about an hour. He said it should be fine. There are cases where people, are in pain afterwards, but most people aren't, but it's possible. So I might take some painkillers. We'll see. But, excuse me. Hopefully it's all fine. I'm trying to find a picture on my Facebook of it. If people really would like to see. I don't know why you really want to, I guess. Here we go. We'll show you fine folks. All right. So see, here's leg. Here's the veins up here. They're kind of crazy. And then here's see, this leg's totally fine. My right leg. This is in a mirror, so it's mirror image. My right leg's totally fine, and then my left leg has all these crazy giant veins. Looks like an alien leg, I like to say. But anyway, we're gonna get that taken care of. Is the plan. All right, so Jack and Intra should be back next week. Where do you get compression socks from? My wife needs them, and I got her some from Duluth Trading Company. I got a pack on Amazon, pretty good deal because you have to get the you should wear the medical grade ones, and then these recent ones I just got. They had a after like the clearance sale, so I got a this last pack I actually just got them yesterday. It was right after Christmas. It took a while to get because of COVID with mail, but anyway, I got what was it trying? Oh, so it was like a grab bag. You got 7. You couldn't pick what kind you got, like what color, because they're just like cleaning out their last year's inventory. But I got a lot of cool ones. Like if you like silly stuff like me, it was good. Like one has pineapples. But these are whole socks because I used to just wear the sleeve, but now they told me it's better to wear the whole socks from the toes up to your knee so you don't have your foot open. But anyway, a lot of cool ones. The sleeves, I got at a place called Sleeves, Sleefs. If you want the sleeves, so wear some of my arms because they're good for when you're out exercising. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. I know some trolls out there who dislike. There's like 3. I think it's just Brains under multiple accounts. He likes to dislike the show multiple times under all his accounts as soon as it's up. But whatever floats your boat. If that gets your rocks off, go for it. I'll leave some comments. They're fun to see. Subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you can get notifications. And we'll be back next week to talk about some more wrestling it should be on our normal time, Tuesday night. All right, folks. Goodbye.